Good evening, everyone. Short stories in English. داستانهای کوتاه انگلیسی. The story number 5. The chest. داستان پنجم، صندوقچه. Chapter 2. Belfast. بلفاست اسم یه جاییه. میدونید اسم داستان اول ادینبرو بود، یه شهری، و این داستان اسمش بلفاسته. بذارین سامری خلاصه داستان اول بخونیم، اونایی که گوش نکردن. داستان اول رو بدونن که ماجرا چی بود. قسمت اولش. Walter is an old man from Scotland. He is in Edinburgh on a mission. والتر یه پیرمرد اسکاتلندیه که برای یه مأموریتی تو ادینبرو اومده. He has a picture of an old chest. اون عکس یه صندوقچه قدیمی رو داره. There is a lock on the chest. یه قفلی روی صندوقچه است. 3 numbers are missing from it. 3 تا شماره ازش گم شده. یعنی نمیدونه شماره‌اش چیه. شماره این قفلو. Walter asks a man named David about the missing numbers. He says one number is on an object David has. اون در مورد یکی از این شماره ها از دیوید میپرسه که دیوید میگه یه چیزی داره که این شماره روشه. David looks in his garage and finds something. He shows Walter an old necklace. دیوید تو گاراژش میگرده و یه گردنبند قدیمی پیدا میکنه. به والتر نشون میده. There is a number in it. Walter tells David to remember the number inside the necklace. دیوید میگه که یه شماره داخلشه. والتر بهش میگه که این شماره رو یادت باشه. He gives David a letter. اون یه نامه میده به دیوید. Then Walter leaves for Northern Ireland. بعدش ادینبرو رو ترک میکنه برای رفتن به ایرلند شمالی. داستان دوم بلفاست. بلفاست یه شهریه توی ایرلند شمالی. خب طبق معمول اول بریم سراغ بلاکینگ وکابولری. کلمات مهمش، کلماتی که اگر ندونید درکتون مشکل میشه. بعد داستان رو میخونم. تاکسی. A car with a driver who you pay to take you from one place to another. Expensive. Costing a lot of money. گرون. Jacket. A short coat, usually with long sleeves. یک کت کوتاه، معمولاً با سینای بلند. کت. Jacket, coat. coat معمولاً به overcoat، کت بلند میگن coat. Sunglasses. Dark glasses that protect your eyes from the sun. عینک آفتابی. Button. A small round object you press to make a machine turn on or move. دکمه. Butler. A person who helps other people in the home for a job. پیش خدمت. Wooden. Made of wood. چوبی. Traditional. Based on customs that have existed for a long time. سنتی. Afternoon tea. A light meal with tea. Eaten in the afternoon. یه اسنک، یه میان وعده بعد از ظهر، معمولا با چای. meal یعنی غذا، یه وعده غذایی. specific. Exact. Of a certain type. مشخص، دقیق. Impatient. Easily angered because you don't like to wait. ناشکیبا، عجول، بی صبر. Museum. A building where collections of interesting things are arranged for people to see. موزه. Let's go to see what is going on. Chapter 2. Belfast. A few hours later. خب طبق معمول من ترجمه براتون نمی کنم، ولی اون جایی که میگم شاید یکم سخت باشه براتون میگم بهتون که داستان از دست ندین. A few hours later, Walter arrived safely in Northern Ireland. The city of Belfast was full of people. There were many exciting things to do and see. But Walter had a mission. He knew just where to go. میدونه کجا بره تو بلفاست. Walter called a taxi. He told the driver a local address. یه آدرس محلی بهش میده. They agreed on a rate. اونا رو قیمت توافق میکنن. It was in a far away part of Belfast. After some time, he arrived at a large house. Far away یعنی دور. The house looked very expensive. The owner took good care of it. صاحبش مالک اون خونه گرونه خیلی به خونه رسیده بوده. It was probably owned by someone rich. احتمالاً واسه یه آدم پول داره. It had a very large garden. There were several dogs running around in it. Running around دور و برش میدوئن. The house even had a tennis court. زمین تنیس داره. court. تو انگلیسی زمین اما به همه چی میگیم زمین. زمین فوتبال، زمین بسکتبال، زمین تنیس، زمین نمیدونم گلف. در صورتی که تو انگلیسی هر کدوم یه اسمی داره. تنیس court. Walter stood outside. He simply looked at the house for a while. Simply تو فارسی اصلا هیچ معنی نداره. Simply looked at the house. یعنی نگاش میکنه. به سادگی، ولی منظورش اینه که خیلی راحت بی آلایش بی چیز خاصی. Then he rang the doorbell. زنگو میزنه. He rang again and waited for someone to answer. Hello? He called. Nobody came. No one seemed to be home. The old man looked around. He decided to wait. Walter pulled out the photo of the chest. عکس صندوق در میاره. He looked at it closely and smiled. دقیق نگاه میکنه و میخنده. He put the photo back inside his jacket. He waited some more. Walter heard a car approaching. شنید که یه ماشینی داره نزدیک میشه. Approaching داره نزدیک میشه. As expected, همینجور که انتظار میرفت, it was an expensive car. There was a woman inside. She wore big sunglasses. She didn't see Walter. The woman pressed a button. دکمه رو فشار داد. The garage door opened. She slowly drove in. به آرومی رانندگی کرد داخل گاراژ. She still didn't see Walter. The woman reached for the button again. دوباره خانومه اومد که دکمه رو بزنه. She was closing the garage door. Walter might miss her. نزدیک بود در گاراژ رو ببنده. والتر ممکن بود دستش بده، یعنی نتونه باشه ارتباط بگیره. Excuse me. Wait, called Walter. At last the woman saw Walter. She stopped immediately. فوراً وایساد. The garage door remained open. باز موند در گاراژ. Yes. Who are you? She asked. Can I talk to you for a moment, please? Asked Walter. The woman looked at him suspiciously. توی قسمت‌های قبل گفتیم suspiciously یعنی با چجوری بگم بی‌اعتماد، یعنی با شک، با زن بدگمانی. Suspiciously. She walked out of the garage. A butler came up from the garden. یه پیشخدمت از باغ اومد بیرون، اومد بالا، اومد سمتشون. He looked at the woman and said, Miss Murray, shall I take care of your car? مواظب ماشینتون باشم، حواسم به ماشینتون باشه. Take care الزام به معنی مواظبت کردن نیست. ممکنه کاراشو بخواد انجام بده یا پارکش بکنه. ماشینو یعنی بسپار به من، کار ماشینو من انجام میدم، حالا هرچی هست. Yes, Brian, thank you. Miss Lucy Murray, am I correct? asked Walter. Yes, that's me. آره خودمم. Lucy looked at Walter closely. Closely یعنی از نزدیک، به دقت، دقیق. I've come to talk to you. It's important. Important? If it's business, I can refer you to my office. اگه مربوط به کاره، من تو رو ارجاع میدم به دفتر. No, it's not business, replied Walter. What could it be? پس چیه؟ Lucy asked. این could گذشته کنه، ولی اینجا منظورش گذشته نیست. به جای could و تو حالم میتونه استفاده کنه. پس چی میتونه باشه؟ Walter only smiled. Well, whatever it is. Come with me. هرچی که هست، بیا. Come into the house, please. Walter followed the woman inside. The house was very big. In fact, it was huge. Azim. It was also very beautiful. Is this all yours? asked Walter. Yes, she answered. I'm a professional designer. من یه طراح حرفه‌ایم. At age 19, I started a company. She paused and looked around. دوربرش رو نگاه کرد. What can I say? I've done very well. کارم خوب بوده. I can see that. Wow. You must have done a lot of work. باید خیلی کار کرده باشی. You must have done. You must have done. You must have done. غلطه. You must have done. Yes, I've گذشته مدال وربه. باید انجام داده باشی. Yes, I've worked very hard. She started walking again. Come this way, please. Walter, Anna, and Lucy went up some steps. They came to a large door. The door was wooden and very pretty. چوبی و خیلی زیبا. It was an old design. Is your house very old? asked Walter. Lucy smiled. No, it's not. But it was built to an old design. قدیمی نیست. با دیزاینه، یعنی طرحش قدیمیه. I have very traditional taste. من تست ذائقم قدیمیه، سنتیه. Lucy opened the door. Walter looked around in surprise. با تعجب نگاه می‌کرد این ور اون ور. It was a huge room. It was full of beautiful and expensive furniture. مبلمان بسیار قدیمی و گرون و زیبا. It was also very neat and clean. مرتب و تمیز. Brian, the butler, soon came in. He had brought afternoon tea. Sir, said Brian, Walter, please. Walter, would you like something to drink? Yes. A cup of tea. Thank you. Lucy took off her jacket. It was a very hot day. Brian spoke to Walter again. Let me take your jacket. اجازه بدین کتتون رو بگیرم، sir. Walter took off his jacket. کتش رو در آورد. He handed it to the butler. He handed it. تحویلش داد بهش. Brian left the room and then quickly returned. He handed some hot tea to Walter. چای داغ داد به Walter. Then he left Lucy and Walter alone. بعد لوسی و والتر رو تنها گذاشت. Lucy and Walter sat down. They looked at each other. Welcome to my home. Walter, may I ask why you're here? Walter drank some tea. Then he set his cup on the table. He set his cup on the table. یعنی گذاشتش رو میز. I need to know a number, he said calmly. یه شماره میخوام. Like David, Lucy was surprised. A number? She asked. Yes, a number. A specific number? asked Lucy. A specific number? asked Lucy. یه شماره مشخص؟ Yes, it would be on an object you have. روی چیزی که تو داری. Please make an effort to remember it. سعی کن. Make an effort. سعی کن تا یادت بیاد. Lucy thought for a while. She tried to understand what Walter meant. However, unlike David, she didn't remember anything. I don't know what you mean. Please, if you could explain. نمیفهم چی میگی. توضیح بده اگه میتونی. Walter looked around. The second number must be here somewhere. He thought. شماره دوم باید یه جایی اطراف باشه. فکر کرد. Of course, the photo. He must show her the photo. باید عکس رو بهش نشون بده. Can you, butler, bring my jacket, please? asked Walter. Of course, replied Lucy. Brian left the room. Seconds later, چند ثانیه بعد, he appeared with Walter's jacket. با کت والتر ظاهر شد. Walter reached into his jacket. Walter رسید به کتش. It had many pockets. جیبای زیادی داشت. It was difficult to find the photo. It took time. Lucy was becoming impatient. Lucy داشت صبرش رو از دست میداد. صبرش داشت تمام میشد. At last he found it. Here it is. Walter laughed. I have it. We need the number for this. He put the picture of the chest on the table. Lucy took the picture in her hands. She looked at it carefully. Suddenly, she remembered something. I don't know why, but I think I remember something, she said. Think, Lucy, think, said Walter. Lucy stood up. Come with me, Walter, she said. I don't know who you are or what you want, but you've made me think of something. نمیدونم چی ولی باعث شدی که به یه چیزی فکر کنم. Walter smiled. He and Lucy left the house. They entered a small building next to it. یه ساختمان کوچیک کنار خونه. The inside of the building was like a small private museum. داخل ساختمون مثل یه موزه کوچیک بود. There were many drawings, paintings and other things of value. پر از طراحی و نقاشی و چیزای با ارزش. Things of value. Near a beautiful drawing, Lucy found a small box. She opened it. There was a necklace inside. The necklace was just like David's. It was very old. But Lucy was able to open the necklace. She was still able to recognize the number inside. Lucy میتونست که درشو نکلس رو باز بکنه و شماره رو تشخیص بده. شماره داخلشو recognize یعنی شناختن، فهمیدن، به یاد آوردن، تایید کردن. Lucy gave the necklace to Walter. He looked at it carefully. Okay, that's all I needed. این همه چیزی که میخواستم. He said calmly. I still don't understand, Walter. What is it that you want? The chest reminded me of the necklace. صندوق من یاد گردنبند انداخت. But I don't know why. Do you? Is that important? Walter paused a moment. خود مکث کرد. I have to go now, Lucy. Please, don't ask any more questions. He handed her a letter. نامه داد بهش. Then Walter paused and said, Remember the number and read this. It will help. Walter turned and left Lucy's house. As he disappeared, he called, I'm off to London. همینجا که داشت ناپدید میشد گفت من از اینجا میرم. I'm off. من رهسپار میشم، عزیمت میکنم، میرم به لندن. میتونست بگه I go to London، میگه I'm off، یعنی از اینجا میرم به سمت لندن. See you soon, Lucy. Lucy didn't say goodbye. She couldn't. She had no idea why Walter had come. چرا اومده بود والتر؟ She looked at the letter. It all seemed very suspicious. همش خیلی بدگمانی و شک‌آمیز بود. But yet somehow important. Somehow یه جورایی. She preferred to forget everything. ترجیح میداد که همچین فراموش کنه. But she would let the old man have his fun. ولی این به پیرمرده اجازه داده بود که به خواستش، به تفریحش برسه. She slowly opened the letter. نامه رو باز کرد. Review. Summary. خلاصش. Walter travels to Belfast. He visits a woman named Lucy. والتر رفت بلفاست. یه زنی رو به نام لوسی میبینه. She lives in a large house. توی خونه بزرگ زندگی میکنه. Walter tells Lucy about the chest. والتر در مورد به لوسی در مورد صندوق میگه. He asks her to remember a number. ازش میخواد که یه شماره رو به یاد بیاره. At last, Lucy remember something. She shows Walter an old necklace. اون به والتر یه گردنبند قدیمی نشون میده. It has a number inside. یه شماره داخلشه. Lucy has many questions. لوسی سوالای زیادی داره. Walter doesn't answer them. والتر جواب نمیده بهشون. He gives Lucy a letter and says goodbye. یه نامه به لوسی میده و میگه خداحافظ. Lucy starts to read the letter. لوسی شروع میکنه که نامه رو بخونه. And comprehension question as always, and I don't answer. You can answer them in comments. من اینا رو جواب نمیدم. توی کامنت ها میتونید خودتون جواب بدید یا دوستان رو دوباره گوش کنید که جواب پیدا کنید. Lucy's house is a. خونه لوسی. Big and beautiful, small but beautiful, medium sized, big but not very nice. خونه لوسی کدومشه؟ 7. The butler is called Brian, Walter, David or Lucy. اسم پیشخدمت چیه؟ Is called یعنی نامیده میشه. Lucy remembers a number when Walter. لوسی یه شماره یادش میاد وقتی والتر talks about the number, shows her the photo of the chest, talks about the chest or talks about a necklace. کی لوسی شماره رو یادش میاد؟ Lucy doesn't understand what is going on. نمیفهمه چه خبره. Knows what Walter is doing. Is not going to let Walter have any fun. نمیخواد که بذاره والتر خودش خوش بگذره، به خواستش برسه. Is not able to help Walter. نمیتونه به والتر کمک کنه. A, B, C, or D. After saying goodbye, بعد از خداحافظی, Walter travels to Belfast, travels to Edinburgh, rests for a day, برای یه روز استراحت میکنه. Travels to London, سفر میکنه به لندن. Thank you very much for being me as always. متشکرم که همراه من بودید. I hope you have enjoyed the story as I did. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself.